And greetings, everyone. This is Candace Joseph, your favorite business guru. Look, we are here live at the Greasy Spoon Pearland. Let's give it a round of applause for the Greasy Spoon today. Look, I know all the customers in the building are like, what is this girl on the mic doing? Well, I just want to say hi, my name is Candace Joseph. I am the host of the Business Knowledge Broker Hour on HGS TV. Look, we are home of the live podcast, baby, because your voice is your power, and we are going to bring it to you. So today, we're talking about youth and families. And my guests tonight are two individuals who have been on the front lines of what's going on with today's youth, and they're definitely going to tell us what's going on in the streets and how we can help. So I want to start off by introducing my first guest for tonight. Sitting next to me is Mr. Sebastian Sanders of the Sanders Hand. How are you today?
Doing good, how are you?
I am doing well. Y'all give it up for Sebastian. So I want you to tell everyone that's here all about your greatness and your great organization.
Yeah. My name is Sebastian Sanders, Executive Director and Founder at Sanders Hand. We're a nonprofit organization, been in business for the last 6 years, since 2017. I started this in my college dorm when I was 19 years old. I'm 26 now, and we've been servicing roughly over 5,000 at-risk children with free business and financial literacy training through our Young Billionaires Club program, which serves as an incubator. We teach life skills that goes untaught inside the classroom.
Ooh, tell us a little bit more about the life skills that you guys have there at the Sanders Hand. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So our kids, they come in learning professional etiquette, customer service, marketing, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy. Reason being is when we look at impoverished communities, the number one reason why you have crime, poverty, lack of resources is lack of financial circulation. When you look at our kids, they essentially are not getting taught those skills inside of a classroom. So we come in and we teach the things that essentially the school system is not given to our kids. And so they stay with us at a minimum of 6 weeks to a full academic school year. They learn all of this learning, and then they take that learning where they can apply it and go work at our Young Billionaires Club store for universal basic income.
Well, look, I absolutely love that because today's youth, they need those soft skills. Like you said, they're not taught in schools. Yeah. This is the thing. Not only are you located in Houston, but you're located in a few other areas as well. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we have programs here in Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and internationally in Ghana, Africa. We opened up a computer lab last year.
Well, congratulations on that. Y'all give them a hand clap for Ghana. And definitely thank you for what you do here at home.
Yeah.
With today's youth, you interact with them every day. What are some of the top concerns that they have in regards to their future? What do you see?
The biggest concern, and to me the most concerning thing that I see, is kids are not motivated to go to school anymore. And that's crazy because I loved school growing up. I was one of those kids, I actually loved going back to school. And so a few months ago I had a chance to visit some high school students. We were having a conversation and I could just see the lack of motivation on their faces. And I asked them, I said, do you guys feel like high school is setting you up for real life? At least 12 out of 15 students said no. And when you hear that, that's an over alarming statistic. When you have majority of the class don't feel like they're being prepared, I knew that kids are not motivated to go to school anymore. And it's not more so of what's the word I'm looking for, of a thing of them not wanting to go because they don't want to go to school and be disobedient. It's more so of I'm more money motivated because I need to figure out how to make more money for my family to create wealth and success. If school is not teaching me that, I'd rather go work somewhere and learn what I need and prepare me for high school. And when I figured that out, I unlocked the code. I said, we have to change the future of education. If not, you're going to lose all the kids throughout the system.
So with the kids that you've spoken to, what's some of the top careers that you think that they would be more interested in learning in? Because maybe that could be that bridge that we use to close that gap between the younger generation and the older generation. What do you see there as far as future prospects?
I think you have to show them what social media is not showing them. Every kid can be an influencer. Every kid can be a social media star. I think you have to show them that those jobs that are not so pretty. The plumbing jobs, the electrician jobs, really the trade jobs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, most plumbers make at least minimum 6 figures. Most people who have a trade can pick up there and start their own business. If we start to show our kids the other opportunities outside of what they normally see, that these people actually make a good living, they can be more inspired and say, well, maybe I actually want to go do that. Maybe I don't want to be a social media star, whatever they want to be, but I think we have to expose them to the other side. The problem being in the black community, we define success on what you wear and what you have. If I see you going somewhere and and you look really nice, I'm gonna automatically assume you're a wealthy person. But if I see a plumber walking somewhere looking, dingy or dirty, you're automatically gonna assume that person is not, wealthy. But you don't know their income bracket, you don't know what they make. And that's how our kids are thinking because they only see what's in front of them.
Wow. Now that right there is definitely an eye-opener. So in the terms of community, in your opinion, what do you feel that families can do to, bring those youth back into the fold and get them where they need to be for their future success? What do you think that families can do? What are some tips that you would give since you've been working with the youth?
From a family perspective, it's all come down to education. So I think a lot of times in a household, a parent may not know anything about financial literacy, and so it may be hard to have those conversations because he or she may not have had that when they were growing up. So I think it's all about, as a parent, as a family member, educate yourself. There's free resources out there. You can go and look on the internet and pretty much find anything that you want. Educate yourself, and then start having those conversations with your kids and start showing them real world examples. The way a person is raised stays with them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
The things that you learn at 8 years old, you're still applying to your life even as an adult. And so if you can start those things early and embed it into their roots, our kids are going to grow up on a different trajectory versus what they've already been used to.
So with the neighborhoods that you work within, they're at youth, right?
Yeah.
So with the community, how can a community get behind and collaborate with your program?
Mm-hmm.
How can they come in and collaborate with your program to help our youth out?
Yeah. We're always looking for volunteers. So if you want to come in and teach a class session to our kids, always looking for experts in the field. Volunteering, donating, becoming a monthly donor, joining our monthly subscriber program. Simply just telling somebody about our work. The reason how we get to where we are in 6 years is because somebody shared our information. And so anybody that's looking to get behind our movement of changing the future of education, volunteering, donating, telling somebody about us, just coming out in real time and seeing exactly what we do and being a support system for our kids. When the kids see multiple people show up for them to do a pitch competition or just do anything, that boost of confidence does wonders for a child. And so simply just showing up and being present means a lot.
Wow. You have the Young Billionaires Club. I know you said financial literacy, so that means credit, taxes, budgeting. You're telling them about salaries. You're even tapping into the entrepreneurship space. So with the program that you guys have there, combined with your new efforts in regards to the thrift store, what do you want that to achieve for the youth? What do you see that achieving for them?
Yeah, great question. So through our program now, and with us opening up the thrift store, what we're looking to do is not only to serve the kids inside the traditional classroom, the thrift store is going to open up that door for the parents now to be served. Because traditionally, we're going to service the students, but we're not always able to service the parents. And a lot of times, a parent may not have the time or the resources to educate themselves. By us opening up this thrift store, we're serving the community by providing nice items at a value discounted price, right? So giving our parents an opportunity to shop something at a discounted price. But every parent, every customer that leaves our store is leaving with digital financial literacy. So you go to Walmart, you put your stuff in the bag. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to give you a digital access where you can scan the QR code, go home and read lessons on financial literacy, such as budget, credit, and investing. And so that's going to unlock the education for the parents to say, I didn't know anything about credit, or I didn't know anything about this business. Now I got this information in front of me. Now I can go and do so. What this does is this improves the quality of living. What we're trying to do is make sure we can add an extra amount of money that your household is making. If you're making $40,000 a year through our program, if you're able to take the lessons and make an extra $20,000, $60,000 can do a lot for you and your family versus what $40,000 was previously doing. So that's the whole mission. And so providing that digital financial literacy, but on the flip side, every student that goes through our program gets an opportunity to come work inside of our thrift store. So we're going to teach you everything in the classroom, but now let's take it straight to the workforce. I'm going to put you inside of the store. I'm going to show you how to be a manager for a day. I'm going to show you how to do marketing for a day, supply chain operations, because a lot of kids learn better when they're placed in a setting to do so.
That's very true. I have to say, the over 5,000 youth that you guys have helped so far and over the 6-year period, you guys have provided this financial literacy. You've told them about entrepreneurship. You told them about different trade opportunities, right?
Yep.
But you also have another piece that you guys do in regards to scholarship. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So annually we have our Young Billionaire Scholarship, where we give out money to our students who have really good business ideas. And so typically this has been for our HBCU students, early college students who are actually on their trajectory and a little more advanced than our middle and high school students. And this was something that we started in 2017. So we started off giving out $400, $500. It has went and passed maybe $1,500 now. And in total we have given out just a little over $20,000 in the last 5 years back to our students. And that scholarship is really just an investment into, to start their business. Because the number one reason why small businesses fail is access to capital, right? And our kids, they have some amazing ideas, but they don't know how to go and get the money. So we come in with a scholarship and say, hey, if you can come with a good business idea, just like Shark Tank, we'll give you some money. I'm not asking for equity or anything. I just want to give you some money to get you off the ground. And so that's something that we do annually for our students who actually have some really cool business ideas. And actually, in addition to that, our 2021 scholarship winner, she was going to HBCU. She has now launched a women designer foot brand for women with larger foot sizes. Her shoes is inside of Macy's now, and it's called Vaila Shoes, V-A-I-L-A.
Ooh, y'all give it up for that. See, I love to hear about people that are doing great work in the community where it can help families grow, help the youth grow. Because, they're our future. Yeah. These are our future doctors, lawyers, plumbers, like you said. These are people that are gonna be able to take care of us and take care of our rural society, and even the political space, right? So I want to ask you a question. It's kind of one of those hot topics. We see here in Texas, TA has taken over some components of the educational system, right? Yeah. And especially here in Houston, we see what's happening on that educational front. Some of the changes that you see, do you think these will be beneficial to Houston area students?
A lot of the changes that I'm seeing so far, it's a mix, right? It's a mixture of a lot of things. Yeah. So I can't really dictate exactly what that's going to do, but I would say I want to see a full year's report of exactly what they have done or wanted to do. Then we can further evaluate, because right now it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors and a bunch of questions flying around, so it's honestly kind of hard. But what I've seen, it's sounding like a positive change, yeah. But on the morale side, it's really hurting those teachers and those counselors and those people who've been with the school district for years, because I've been seeing a bunch of layoffs and things like that. And so I think this time next year, if we can sit down and see everything that has happened in the last year, we can further evaluate if this takeover was really beneficial to our kids or not. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think HISD goes back to school on August 28th. And so I'm very interested in seeing what this next school year looks like for our kids and the staff. But also my heart goes out to all the staff members that that have been laid off, because I've been seeing a lot of those lately.
Yeah, you definitely have. I definitely wanted to just kind of get your insight on that, because I know that the students are definitely one of the driving forces of your program. Yeah. So we definitely want to see more students get into the program, more people get involved. So with everything that you do, financial literacy, you teach them about the market, you teach them about the supply chain, all of that. How can other local entrepreneurs become a part of this collaboration with you? How can they do that?
Yeah, in two ways. Experts in the field, so anybody who's an expert in any type of business field, definitely reach out, and we would love to put you on our calendar and our schedule to actually go out and teach some of our lessons. And then our second one is becoming a monthly donor to the program. Becoming a monthly donor, enables us to continue that driving force, right? So we have 3 levels of, participation: $25, $50, $100 a month. It's just like having a Netflix subscription, right? But you're actually subscribed to an organization that's empowering you. And so those are the 2 ways anybody in the Houston area can, stay involved and get involved in what we got going on as an organization.
Okay, so coming up here in the month of August, you have an event that's coming up. Look, tell us about this event. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. When I saw the flyer, I said, okay, this is definitely something where I'm going to have to pull up. Tell everybody about it and why they should pull up too.
Yeah, most definitely. So August 19th, we'll be having our official grand opening of the Young Billionaires Club thrift store. And so this is our first retail store location. I am super excited. This is an extension of our academic program, and it's also going to be a fun shopping experience. So we're changing the way you shop with digital financial literacy. So August 19th at 12 p.m. through 6 p.m. we'll be open for the full day. The ribbon cutting ceremony will be right at 1 p.m. And the address is 12579 Richmond Drive, or you can go follow us on social media at SandersHand.org, and you can go to Eventbrite and get your tickets today.
Okay, do you need anything from the local community? Because it's a thrift store, so most time when you see thrift stores, you see people that come in and bring in donations, or do you guys want any of those items?
Yes, so actually this week we have opened up the doors officially to start accepting donations. So whatever household items you have, clothes, shoes, electronics, stuff that's sitting in the garage that you've been saying you're gonna take to Goodwill for the last 3 years, I got you. Just go ahead and break into the Young Billionaires Club store. We do provide a tax receipt for charity if you need that as well. But we're definitely looking to fill the store for inventory. So anything that you have, we definitely want to open our doors for you to come and donate.
Ooh, I know I'm going to definitely bring in some donations of some clothes that I can't fit anymore. Yeah. But I have to say, I love what you do in a community, because When you think about a thrift store, you think about everything. It teaches the kids customer service skills.
Yep.
It teaches them about sales. It shows them how to interact with each other, and really also, you know, how to count money, how to work those POS systems. So I said that that's very important, and I have to say thank you for being that driving force for doing that. Look, I'm excited. I guess I'm just a shopper, so I'm excited by any deal that I can get out here in the neighborhood. I really am. I'm very thrilled about that. So for someone that's here right now, they're listening, and we're talking about youth and families tonight, what are some words of inspiration that you would give them from what you've seen in the community, and some encouraging words to keep family and the youth strong for the future?
My biggest thing is don't look for change, be the change. Often in the black community, I think we're always bystanders, and always somebody should go do this or somebody should go do that. Why don't you step on the front line and actually do it? Because you never know what's on the other side if you actually just do it. And I think for youth and families, if we can come together and really implement change on an intentional level, we can really change our communities. I think last time I looked at the report, I think we're responsible for at least over $4 trillion in consumer spending as black people. And you think about a number like that, but then you drive through our areas and our communities, there's not a reflection of that $4 trillion. So I go back to the communities and look at what are we really doing as a black community. And I think in order for us to really change, we have to step out and stop saying, well, the mayor will do this or the council person is going to do this. It may be on their radar, but they have to answer to somebody. They may not be able to do that, right? Everybody has to answer to somebody. And you as an individual, you have the power, you have the ability, you have social media, get out there and put together something and change your community. And so I did that when I was 19 years old with little to no money in my pocket as a college student. I stepped out and said, God, I'm gonna do this. And I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm a broke college student, but I'm gonna do this. And since then, I've served roughly over 5,000 students with little to no major funding behind me. And if I can do that, anybody can do anything. You know, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, you're never too old to do anything. You're definitely not ever too young to do anything. All you gotta do is believe.
Look, I have to say, 19 years old with that type of drive, absolutely amazing. So we talked about the business side. I wanna ask you a question. At 19, what was the inspiration to start this organization? What was your thought process?
My inspiration, so I always have to be transparent. I didn't see this coming, right? I was 19, I was a college student, I was running around thinking I was the flyest guy on campus, so I didn't think nothing about a nonprofit. I wanted to be a rapper. I'm a huge Tupac fan, and so before I found my voice in speaking, I had this little studio in my room, and I was making these songs, and my homies were like, bro, I love you, but that song, that ain't it. And so, I realized I might have failed in the aspect of rapping, but I found my voice. And so if I didn't go through that phase of trying to be a rapper, I wouldn't know how to be here today speaking in front of you all. I wouldn't know how to write a book if I didn't learn how to write those songs at 19. And so I went through that phase of my life in order to be where I'm at today. And so for me, it was all about, I wanted to do a backpack drive. I didn't know anything about a nonprofit. And I called my dad. My dad is literally my everything. I said, Dad, I want to do a backpack drive. He said, son, that sounds good, but anybody can do that. And, you know, as a 19-year-old, it kind of hit me. I'm like, you know, I mean, I really want to do that. He said, son, you can do more. I know you can do more. And I was like, okay. And it challenged me. And that's when I dug deep down in myself and I found my passion of community. And I just cultivated it with business. And, you know, that's how I got to be where I am today.
Well, for those that are here today and they want to learn more about them, give people some action items today. Give them some action items right now and say, hey, this is how you can follow us. Go to your phones. Let's get this communication going.
Yeah, most definitely. Pull out Instagram, Facebook right now and follow us at SandersHand.org. Definitely give us a follow. Visit our website where you can become a monthly donor and you can reach out to us via email. You can set up an appointment to come drop off your donations at our retail thrift store. But I want to challenge y'all tonight to actually do so, whether it's a monetary donation, some physical donation, or some items that you have. Definitely be a part of this change, and I want to see you all on the grand opening on August 19th.
Ooh, listen, I can't wait. So to the entrepreneurs that are in the room, and we got some youngsters in here too, they might want to go ahead and go down that path. Give them some parting words of wisdom from you, Mr. Sebastian Sanders.
So I would say to anybody that's on that passion to pursue entrepreneurship, stay consistent. You're not always going to have a win. You're probably going to take a lot of losses before you see that big win, but you have to stay consistent. And you have to realize, am I a hustler or am I an entrepreneur? If you can figure out where you are, then that should tell you exactly where your next steps are. But if you are a hustler, stay hustling and finding things to do. But a true entrepreneur is somebody that solves a problem. And if you're not solving the problem, then I think you should stay hustling. But definitely stay consistent.
Ooh. Well, I have to say thank you to Mr. Sebastian Sanders of the Sanders. Man, y'all give him a round of applause. And this is Candace Joseph with the Business Knowledge Broker Hour. We're going to take 2 and 2, and we'll be right back with our next guest. Y'all guys, give him a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome. Thank you. There you go.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
I got Sue. Hi, this is Candace Joseph, and we are back here at the Greasy Spoon Pearland for the Business Knowledge Broker Hour with Candace Joseph. You know, today our guests are, individuals that work every day within the youth and families. And next to me is, look, one of my good friends, and she is someone who's in the community who's doing it every day. Miss Tiffany Scales. Y'all give it up for Tiffany Scales.
Hey, y'all.
So, Tiffany, tell everyone about the great organizations that you have founded, cultivated, and worked with.
So it's Mother Tiff. Mary as Tiffany, I advocate a sustained relationship with some peace of mind. A lot of individuals, be they dating seriously in relationship or experiencing the end or demise of a life, I feel that it's really important that you have tools and resources to maintain your self-care and your sanity. And so I marry families. I also can unite you because I'm an ordained minister. My 2 nonprofits are the Arts Advocate and Toiletries for Families. So the Arts Advocate, I advocate the culmination and cultivation of creativity. And I use therapeutic art resources for those affected by trauma and grief. And I also have a project I'm working on for cognitive stimulation because our memories matter. And trauma, some side effects of medication, because there's a really high influx of lymphoma in Houston. And some of the treatment causes dementia, and it causes families to reconsider how much they want to, invest in losing themselves to stay. Toiletries for Families provides hygiene items to families affected by poverty and disaster. And so for the past nearly 13 years, we've served in 29 states and 9 countries. Those are my babies.
Ooh, look, give it up for Tiffany and what she does. So let's talk more about the Arts Advocate. Okay. You said art therapy. Tell the people here, tell them a little bit more about art therapy. Break that down for them.
All right, so there are a lot of new diagnoses and a lot of new tools that are being used for individuals who have symptoms or experience the side effects of arrested spirit or anxiety, depression, or PTSD. There's some apps that you can download to color. And I mean, it's not necessarily a childish task, but more so just to take your mind off the things that you have bombarding you at the moment. Other forms would be like painting, literally feeling the paint and allowing your body to have sensory stimulation. For me, it's the mic. I've been on the mic for over 20 years. I'm a freestyle poet, and it's just something beautiful about having access to a room full of people so I can say something one time and everybody get it. It's like preaching. But art therapy is something that everyone would behoove themselves to experience, especially before you need it. And it's needed for our youth. It's needed to allow a parent or an overseer to understand that these kids have voices and they are using them. And so I want them to be guided in a direction of productivity and positivity as opposed to speaking and manifesting things that they don't need to see over and over again.
Ooh. So if someone here that's here today with their families, they want to become a part and take on and get the services of the Arts Advocate, do they just contact you? What does that intake process look like?
Okay, so I do have a phone number. You can text or call 713-396-ARTS. So it's 713-396-2787. From there, we can go for what you need. If you're an individual and you need some stimulation, some assistance with your social awkwardness or anxieties, I can help you individually. If you're a family dealing with hardship, facing the nuances of puberty for your child, we can definitely do something with you. But what it looks like is always going to be accustomed to what you need. There's no cookie cutter concept for our individuality because we're all different. But one thing I can tell you with conviction is that art is one way we can heal effectively, much more affordably. So if you want a membership, that looks like paying for a basic $50 a month. You have access to a VIP experience every day of the week. Any room I'm in where I'm speaking, you're welcome to come, and it's therapeutic. Otherwise, I can't necessarily say I'd bet any other experience because most of our mental wellness professionals have been completely burned out by the pandemic and the things they've themselves been dealing with. and they need some time to, you know, process and heal and redirect their focus. But art is something that you need. You need it. You need it. Like I need it. I can't live without it. That's why I do what I do.
Well, I have to say, Tiffany, on this public stage, I want to say thank you for what you do in the space of arts advocacy, because over the last few months, not only have you taught me to be a better entrepreneur, to take that time out and really get into my own self-care, you've taught me how to breathe.
Oh yes, baby.
Okay?
Y'all want to learn?
You know,
Okay.
she's really taught me how to breathe, and it's a breathing exercise that she can go into where it really helps me find my center in anything before I make a decision, really before I cook a meal, before I say my daily prayers. It really helps me become a little bit more in tune with myself, and also it's taught me how to really listen to my body. So I publicly want to say thank you for teaching me how to take breaks. Because I'm still learning, by the way, don't be upset, but I'm still learning. But the way that it comes out now, it's a lot more peaceful. I don't go into anything rushed, and I don't make decisions rushed. And that was because of your help. So I want to publicly say thank you very much.
Thank you, Lord. You're welcome. I can't not thank God, because I'm just being obedient, right? But for anybody in the room who does hear what I'm saying, you should do what I say. I'll count you into a deep breath, and this is what you do every single day before you speak, before you eat, before you do or react to anything. You have to breathe first. You know, like I was taught to think before I speak, and my thoughts just don't go there. I live extemporaneously. This is coming from me, free flow, subconsciously, however you want to say it. But if you breathe before you speak, you will change your entire trajectory. You will actually enjoy your experience. And everybody in this room, if don't nobody else, you deserve to. You deserve to learn how to process the triggers and the trauma and the things that are tormenting your mind, having to stay erect and be perfect. Like, I ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna show you how to breathe. We're gonna count it in. As I'm counting to 3, what's in your body, I want you to release. So when I say take a deep breath in, you can actually ingest 3 seconds of air. Now, if you've had COVID or you have respiratory issues, know your body and follow your instincts. But if you can take in that deep breath as best you can, we're gonna slowly let it go for 7 seconds. And I'm gonna watch you experience something that you probably haven't in a long time. 1, 2, 3, take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Feels good, don't it?
And that's what it is. So thank you for being magic. Thank you for being light in that way. But we talked about the arts advocate. I want to talk about Toiletries for Families. Now that is a program that you have, you started up over 10 years ago, and it is something that has really helped the families here in Houston. You've helped in Beaumont. You've helped all over the nation and all over the globe. Tell the people here about it.
This is some new stuff, okay? In 2009, I was taking care of my best friend who had complications with diabetes and a gold card. And if anybody in the room knows, that's insufficient. And sadly, every time she'd go to the doctor saying she was in pain, something hurt, they would say she was addicted to the pain medication, and nobody ever addressed how high her blood pressure was. It just kept putting her out. Well, she died in March of 2010, and with her, a lot of me left. And I spent several months smoking weed, trying to get high, and I couldn't. Like there was nothing to take away or add to. Like I was really in a dark place. And I went to a poetry show with this artist named BKBH. And there I met Noah Radler, who had just come back from walking 1,820 some odd miles, foot walking from Houston to Los Angeles to raise awareness for homelessness. And I'm like, how impactful that must be to have been a double major at Prairie View and to stop doing what he was told to do to sustain himself and all the ways to fit in and keep up. And he chose to walk a path he was called on. And it was just like such a joy, because I sat in that room with him when he talked about what it was like to get acclimated back to society after 6 months of being on foot outside. It's unbearable. He had developed, however you pronounce that word, where your arches fall, and it's just completely painful to walk. The following weekend, I heard Seven the Poet, which I hope y'all know who that is.
Yes.
But I heard Seven the Poet reference a poem that he was inspired to write after a college classmate locked his door and rolled his window up at the red light when there was a man approaching with a sign inquiring of some assistance. And Seven said, his professor said, it is our job to give. And what they do with it is between him and them. And so not much longer after that, my mother and I were having a conversation, and she was just really surprised that for Christmas, a 17-year-old girl in Missouri City asked for panties and lotion for Christmas. And my mom was just like, she didn't ask for an iPod or whatever it was 13 years ago. And I told her, I was like, well, toiletries are not provided with SNAP benefits. At the time, they were called food stamps. And so, with the history I've had working, I've always read the OSHA forms and the posters in the break rooms, and it requires that you be upkept. So if you don't have the tools to upkeep, then you can't keep up or be kept. And so I literally, with my depression and all the things I was dealing with, I went to prayer. And I told God, don't wake me up in the morning if I don't have purpose. And that evening, I had a dream about my best friend who had just passed away a few months prior. And she's just telling me all these things to do. Now, I couldn't tell you what the words were, but I know I woke up writing a blog. And I put my phone number out there that I've had the same this entire time, because if somebody finds me, I'm going to help them. And I started using my gifts to allow them to make room for me. So, in exchange for you getting your mind blown by my poetry that I flow so easily, you come bring some toiletries so I can help somebody clean their face or their babies. And to say that, this organization that I came through to have because I prayed for some purpose, like 60,000 families, most of them don't even know who I am. And every home I went to, they were always so surprised because I wasn't some bitter, broken down person helping my neighbor. Like, no, I see a problem. So I see me in. Like, I'm so grateful for what you're doing because it's necessary. And it's almost frustrating to know that it's been a need. Because y'all know in jail and what do they call them? The juvenile centers. These kids will take toilet paper and wet it, dry it under the dryer. Now you already know, you've seen the memes, what they put back out it's disgusting. But they don't have the tools. In prison, they give women 2 pads a day. And I get it, period talk is not always comfortable, but if you don't talk about the things that we're facing, we are continuously letting history repeat itself. All of my loved ones are affected by fibroids. And so toiletries, it means a lot to me because I'm going to make sure your experience is dignified. And we got little kids walking into puberty right now. The kids that you serving, going back to school, give them some hygiene items. And I am not a bougie person. I'm not too good for nothing. But do not give somebody something you would not use yourself. So, we've got some organic products. I won't mention them on this because they haven't paid me for nothing. But you already know if you use it, there is a way that we can help women use their voices too, because it's not just the young people that are finding themselves through music. Like, I've been freestyling for 22 years, now I can just talk and not feel uncomfortable. And there's no stress about it. But like, this is amazing, Candace, thank you, because y'all need to know that, when it comes time for back to school, the teachers, they really do have drawers of deodorant, because them kids, they go to gym at 3 or 4th period, and then they expect them to participate. Who wants to raise their hand if they're not sure? No, I'm so serious.
That's
like
real.
talking to these kids about it's so necessary.
That was me. It was like I went to the doctor and was like, hey, can you write me a letter? Because I don't like to sweat earlier today. And the lady was like, my doctor she was so sweet. She said, no, give your mom a list of items to buy you, and you put them in your backpack, and you keep one in your backpack and one in your hall locker and one in your gym locker. And this was, a doctor told me that, and I was like, oh yeah. Then I came home, I said, well, Mom, why we didn't talk about that? She's like, well, I don't know what time you have gym. So thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about that, so thank you for talking about that. That's real. And that's guys and girls,
That's everybody, because I'm very inclusive. If you're a person and you perspire, you deserve to have a dignified experience. If you're a person with a uterus and you bleed once a month, you need to talk about that, because cramps are not normal. It's not normal to be on the floor because it's cold, because you can't get up and breathe. Like, that's not normal. Yeah. And we need to talk about it, because I have this theory, y'all. They keep talking about how fibroids and endometriosis, they want to give us this money for a survey because they want the studies. They want the money for themselves. But I have a feeling that it's affecting black and brown women when they have babies, because the compression to their uterus and those fibroids on them, they're bleeding out. If you don't know what's going on with your body and you have a job, find out if your company offers progeny. The last job I had, they offered progeny. So when the stress got too bad and my cortisol got too high and my cyst ruptured, I was able to go to the doctor and have a hysteroscopy. And that is something that every woman of color needs, because it will literally allow you to have one procedure and not the 5 that my friends have had since January.
Wow.
And you know, it helps because, like, with all consideration of who is in this room, you deserve to come. And understand that your wellness in all aspects, especially the physical, is necessary for your mental state and for your ability to maintain peace while you're getting through the things that go outside. And so if you don't have the opportunity to really understand how important that is, like, y'all need to know if she says not tonight, it's not because of you, it's because she's in pain.
True statement.
It's unbearable sometimes. And a lot of times, like, man, as artists, people are always so offended because somebody didn't show up. You have no idea what it takes to get up sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, for real. So whether it's Marius, Tiffany, the arts advocate, Toiletries for Families, like, I'm here to serve and create and to help you enjoy your experience, because how dare you breathe and not have a good time?
Ooh. Look, can we get some poetry snaps on that one? How can we as a community, the people here in this room, how can we help Toiletries for Families? How can we help? What's our action to call today?
I just did a live last night about a call to action. Thank you for that. So my call to action for that would be, when you go to the store and you notice the deodorant is locked up at Walmart, and the Dove soap and the Caress and the Dr. Bronner's, the soap that I would use because it works. Those things are being locked up and they're literally being increased. You got to take note of this, because though you might have the tools to upkeep yourself and your household, you're going to be paying a lot more money, because some families cannot. That's why they're locking the toiletries, because they're putting them, you know, in a position where they have to keep up with them. It's really embarrassing, but, like, you can donate your time, your money, or share these videos. You know, go live. If you see me in a room, record it, because I'm not going to repeat myself. But at the same instant, like, I'm not the only person with a hand or a vehicle to go give somebody something. You know, somebody going to college, man, the toilet paper is so see-through on campus. The pads that are in those little silver boxes at the middle schools, they are not up to par. Can you imagine the embarrassment of a little girl having her period and not being able to get through the day without saying, can you check the back of my pants? That is humiliating.
Yeah.
I have never had to do that. Thank you, mama. Like, there's no reason why little girls should be risking their health, or men should be risking their health. Like, we deserve to be healthy. And so your call to action, I would say, just, if you got it, help me. Because I've been doing this with no job. I literally lost my job in March. God makes room for me. And my needs keep getting met while I continue making sure the people around me got what they need. So this is how you serve. If you don't know, this is what works, right? Like, otherwise we would have been here eating this delicious food, not talking to nobody in this room. So I encourage you to speak up and say something if you're not enjoying yourself. If you don't like where you work, talk to me, because I've been in all the positions. I can help you enjoy your experience, because you deserve to. That's the call to action. Call my number if you need to be reminded.
Yep.
713-396-ARTS. Or if you Google me, you'll find my cell phone, but they all come to me.
Ooh, y'all give Tiffany Scales a round of applause. Ooh. Look, thank you for everything that you do. You know, thank you for being that voice and being that person that says, yes, I'm going to collect toiletries. Yes, I'm going to make sure that, you know, young girls have sanitary napkins and pads and all of those things and tampons that they need. So, you know, my call to action to everybody that's here right now and those that are watching at home when you see this on air, donate those items. Give those items freely. If you buy them for your kids, buy extra. Give them to the school counselor, give them to the school nurse, give them to your next door neighbor. You never know where they may need it. So hey guys, look, we're here at the Greasy Spoon. Y'all give the staff of the Greasy Spoon a round of applause.
Love you, Krista.
I definitely want to thank the owner, Max Bozeman, for letting us have this space here tonight. You know, I definitely want to thank Latoria Lemon for allowing me to have these interviews here tonight and to meet such great individuals. Hey guys, you guys already know it's a business guru in the house. Look, this is the wrap up. If you see someone in need, help someone in need. And please remember, at one point in time, you were that youth. So let's think about how we want to treat the youth in the future and the things that we want to provide so that they can have a great future to provide for us in our seasoned years. So definitely get with Sebastian Sanders and the Sanders Hand.
Yeah.
Definitely get with Tiffany Scales, with the Arts Advocate, and the Toiletries for Families. You guys already know. All I have to say is, this guru is out. See you guys later for the Business Knowledge Broker Hour with Candace Joseph. And that's a wrap.
I'm glad you feel better.
Thank you. Yeah.